Okay? Now, the Senate is too. Now, you know that there are 2 senators from each state, so at first glance it doesn't seem like, that's a single-member district. But you have to understand that those 2 senators are separately elected. The election of those 2 senators is not tied together in any way institutionally, and they just happen to have perfectly overlapping constituencies. Who are the 2 senators in the United States Senate from Texas? Ted Cruz, and we call him the junior senator because he's been there not as long as the other one. Who? No, if you think about Greg Abbott, he's the governor. Okay? The senior senator, you don't hear his name nearly as much as Ted Cruz for a number of reasons, but his name is John Cornyn. Okay? So the election of John Cornyn and the election of Ted Cruz are not tied together in any way institutionally. They both happen to be Republicans, but they're not like, it's not like the election of Ted Cruz is contingent upon the election of John Cornyn. Okay, so they really are elected from single-member districts. They just happen to represent exactly the same constituency, the state of Texas, the people of the state of Texas. Okay? The president is elected from a single-member district. Right? What's the district that the president represents? The entire country. Right? The governor is elected from a single-member district, the entire state. Over in Austin, we have the state legislature. The 150 members of the Texas House of Representatives are all elected from single-member districts. And the 31 members of the Texas Senate are all elected from single-member districts. And so on. That is the rule in the American system. Most offices are elected on the basis of that. One person elected to represent a specific group of people. Right? Does any of you know, we don't have to push this point too much, I'm just kind of curious, talking about the House of Representatives, 435 members. Do any of you know who the individual is that's elected to represent you, if you live here in Sugar Land, to represent you in the United States House of Representatives? Anybody know the person's name? You see his name on signs in the fairly immediate vicinity of this campus. You're going to kick yourself when I tell you, because I know you've seen the signs. His name is Pete Olson. Yes. Oh, somebody said that. One person elected to represent the 22nd Congressional District. That's the district that you live in. Okay? Now, when you couple that with plurality elections, a plurality election, or a first-past-the-post election, as they call them, is simply an arrangement where the candidate who gets the most votes wins. Okay? It's not, a plurality is not necessarily a majority. What's a majority? Well, at least half plus one, which is not maybe necessarily exactly the same thing as 51%, but you're pretty close. Okay? At least half, 50% plus one is a simple majority. Okay? So you can have a plurality but not have a majority. If you have a majority, you have a plurality.